Welcome to outer space. You are the crew of the interstellar science ship, the Raptor. Your mission is to explore the uncharted regions of space, deal with aliens both friendly and deadly, defend the consortium world against space dangers. Your captain, Captain Darcy, has been overcome by a strange psychic entity known as something else he needs to do, leaving you to fend for yourselves while he recovers in a medical pod. Your ship, the Raptor, is a nimble vessel that comes complete with a cloaking device. But because of the crew that calls her home, she has earned a bit of a grim reputation. And people hesitate when they see her insignia pop up on the loading dock. But that won't stop this incredible crew made up of...
My name is Queen Gala de la Cassiopeia, and I am the ruler of the constellation Cassiopeia. I am an alien, of course. I am gradients of gray, but where they meet, there are uh, shiny bits of gold. I wear gowns. I have cigarettes that I carry on my person. I wear turbans, and I am luxurious, darling. I also, of our crew, am the most recent to have joined, as I am going in between uh, places at the moment, the things with states and what have you. But I'm not going to tell you specifically what any of that is because it's classified, darling.
I am Dr. Celia Peru. Friends call me Froggy, but lovers and enemies call me Celia. So you can make those decisions. I am the doctor of this ship currently, and that is only interesting to you, not if you have a medical issue, although I can try to help. If you have a cut, I once took someone's finger off if they had a cut on their finger. And then the cut was gone, so that was helpful. But mostly, if you want to be dissected, I was told by our Captain Darcy that I shouldn't dissect members of the crew who were useful or that I liked, because then I couldn't talk to them anymore because they would be bleeding or dead. So I'm getting into dissecting people more metaphorically if we want to keep them around, dissecting their feelings. Some people call it therapizing them or getting to know them. So with you all, we're doing a sort of that kind of dissection, the feelings kind. But with bad guys, I would like to do actual physical dissection, please. Get their squishy little hearts out and see how they work. And sometimes if the bad guys are really alien, they'll have like 2 or 3. I saw a 4-hearted thing once. It was really exciting.
Thank you, Froggy.
Hey, yo, I'm Crash. I earned that name pretty much how you would expect. I love to pilot spaceships and wear pretty dresses. And that's basically everything you need to know about me. I love solving some mysteries. That's my bag. If I'm not on a ship, I'm exploring something mysterious. And I'm also your pilot.
All right.
Hello, I am Dr. Cynthia Lingus. I am a doctor of, well, a couple different sciences, but primarily I research biology and biology beyond the human body, with a key emphasis in reproductive habits and organs. I have currently conducted a research study of about 50 or so subjects, and with that research so far, I have developed certain vaccinations and immunizations against some of the more prevalent issues you might encounter with interspecies relations. On this ship here, I am very much looking forward to continuing that research, and I must say that I also, as our GM noted, have a side project. I want to make my research more palatable to the masses, and so I publish it in a fictionalized kind of way under the author name Dr. Sin. And so I am here to continue my research, of course, and I do want to make sure it is noted that all research subjects are consensual and fully understanding of all scientific experimentation. I do think that Dr. Cilia and I make a good team here on this ship.
And that is your crew. So, as our story begins, the four of you have been gathered in the galley, where Captain Darcy just informed you that he is suffering from something else he needs to do and will need to go recover. But he's entrusting you with the current mission, which for him is, of course, delivery of goods, because you all have your scientific pursuits and he actually needs to be the only one who thinks about making money. How have you guys never thought about the fact that a ship needs money to run? And yes, Froggy, we appreciate what you do, but most of the body parts that you collect are actually not good on the black market once you've cut them apart. We've talked about this, and only whole organs sell.
They're really interesting when you get the inside. And I thought that Captain Darcy got like pirate gold or whatever.
I mean, yes, we have that too. But everybody should pull their weight on this ship. So you have been assigned to deliver some cargo to a nearby planet. The good news is you guys are about a star system away from where you are heading. With that, the captain leads you in the galley and goes to take his rest in the med pod. And shortly after that happens, you see a light blinking on the console in the galley. What do you do?
I'd like to go look at that light and see what's going on.
The light that's blinking is under a little indicator that says consortium message.
Can I open the message?
Yeah, you open the message, and a very regal looking man appears, and you see him on a video call, and he's sort of looking off to the side for a second. Yeah, okay, so I was thinking, we're going. Attention, consortium ships in the Gavin sector. We have grave news for you. We have just received word that rogue consortium captain Destiny is trying to occupy the ancient space ruins located on Gavin 7. As you know, control of these ruins will in fact cause intergalactic war. It is up to you to fight Destiny and save the consortium. Was that good? Like I felt good about, was it? Oh shit.
Hey crew, guess we need to chart a course.
How far away is Gavin 7 from where we are?
I think about a star system or so.
Mm. Is there anything that we know about these space ruins? Why they're so important?
Well, I don't know. Why don't you do a roll for me?
Certainly.
And yeah, so this is a research roll, what you know about the world around you. And I'm willing to, so you get 1d6. You're not necessarily prepared for this roll, but do you feel like you're an expert in?
In space ruins or just I would have studied the general area that we are
Okay,
in order to
that's
understand
good.
what life is here. So,
I think uh, space ruins would be really an interesting mystery. And so somebody who
yeah.
knows a lot about mysterious things might be able to help if they were willing to help you out.
I was gonna ask if the ruins were mysterious, so that's good to know.
They are in fact
And I'm
mysterious.
certainly willing to lend my expertise.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
So
So in that
that's
case,
2.
you can roll 2. And this is going to be a lasers roll. So you want to roll below your number.
I got a 1 and a 5, so 1 success.
1 below. That's fine. So that's 1 success. So the question you want answered is, what do we know about the ruins?
Yeah, like why are they the key to controlling the galaxy
So
or whatever?
what you know about the ruins on Gavin 7 is that they're actually the ruins of an old temple. And this temple itself belonged to a very, very powerful god out in space who you have since learned, being a woman of science, that most gods were just aliens who happened to get to a planet when the society was insufficiently advanced to understand how somebody could come down from the sky. The god of Gavin 7, Gavin, was similarly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Was similarly actually an alien. But what you do know is that the race Gavin is from no longer exists, but it has always been rumored that somewhere in those ruins is a great weapon that destroyed their entire species. And that's why the consortium, because they are a peace bringing group, has guarded those ruins and not let anyone get in them and try and figure out what's there.
But we don't know that the weapon destroyed everything.
You don't know. That's just what the mysterious stories tell you.
Love me some mysterious stories.
It's mostly myths and legends. That's a kind of Crash's bag.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I really wanted to explore these ruins for a long time, so maybe not the happiest of circumstances, but I'm definitely ready to get in there and explore. And I'm gonna start moving us in that direction.
All right.
Love that. Should we like cloak?
Is the area of space we're in treacherous?
I mean,
So
We'll be going into a treacherous area, right?
and lots of other ships have all just been told to go to
Anyone over here?
area, and we probably want to dissect and or have sex with.
We want to thoroughly analyze the problem as we best do, Doctor.
Dissects all of the
Dissects,
things
yes.
that are coming our way.
Exactly.
Which will be easier to do if we go in stealth mode. Does this take us really out of the way of where you need to go, my queen?
Yes.
I've been asleep this entire time. I'm like laying on like a lounge sofa and I have like one of those green masks with the cucumbers on and I'm laying there like this.
I have to say, I really admire the Queen's composure in such a time like this.
Very meditative.
Yeah.
I'm
One,
sorry. Were you just trying to speak to me?
Oh,
I
uh,
know you weren't trying to speak to me when I was having my beauty rest.
oh
oh,
no.
well, actually, I just wanted to make sure we weren't inconveniencing you,
Mm.
which I suppose we
In
were
what
doing
way?
during your
What
beauty.
could you possibly be doing that would inconvenience me?
Well, we're going off course
Mm. Yes.
Why?
because we got a message from a regal looking person who was
Yeah.
really bad at giving regal messages, but they were
Yeah.
dressed almost as regally as you.
Only
Um,
almost, though. Definitely not nearly as
definitely
close.
not like
Yeah.
actually there, but
I
like,
don't believe that, but go on.
and they said, well, they said a lot of stuff, but something about fighting destiny in some ancient ruins.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hmm. So it sounds like a battle may happen.
Oh,
I'm eating
everyone
the
in the area has
cucumbers.
been forced to go there, so a battle
Yeah.
certainly might
Hmm.
happen with some other people, if not the people of Gavin 7.
Well, I
We're going
have
to
been
dissect some
getting
things,
I
perhaps.
have been getting bored, so this does sound like something
Oh,
fun to do for a change.
Okay.
I'm eating the cucumber.
marvelous. I
But
figured as
the
much.
other one is right here, but the other I'm eating one of them.
It's a very nice one-eyed kind of look right now.
Thank you so much, darling.
Of course.
Are there any resources that we need to be aware of, that we need or that our ship needs between where we are and our destination?
So you check over the log and all of the information like you do whenever you're plotting a course somewhere. And the good news for you is that Gavin 7 is actually even a little bit closer than your original destination for shipping. So you have plenty of fuel to get there. And it doesn't look like you are in need of anything else. It will mean that you probably are going to have to figure out some sort of fuel in order to eventually reach your original destination. But you can figure that out at Gavin. And if all of the local consortium ships are being called in, you assume one of them will be a fuel liner and you'll probably be able to get some fuel or find a space station nearby.
Excellent. Well, at the request and concern of my crew, I would like to go ahead and engage the cloaking device.
All right. So you turn on the cloaking device and you set a course for Gavin 7.
It's always so fierce when we cloak this thing. That's how we know that something's going to happen. Finally.
I imagine it's a pretty fashionable cloak if you were able to see it.
Well, but isn't that the whole point? Is to not see the cloak?
But you can see it before the ship puts it on, you know?
Oh. Oh, of course. Maybe my grasp of ship technology is not as good as my grasp of other technology.
I have now imagined that the Raptor does in fact pull on a very fashionable cloak that once it's tucked turns the ship completely invisible.
I love that.
All right. Yeah, adding that, it is a nimble ship with a fashionable cloaking device.
Beautiful.
You know, you have to be able to see it before you put it on, otherwise you lose the invisibility cloak when you took it off. It can't be invisible when it's not on, otherwise it'd be really ineffective.
Yeah, you'd never
Of
find it.
course.
It
Yes.
slips right on like a pair of silk stockings.
All right.
I feel like that feels like a cloak.
Navigate very easily to the next system over and make your way towards Gavin 7. Crash brings you in with no problem. You remain cloaked, I think. Hold on. Yes, you remain cloaked. Your cloaks are fine. When you come out of light speed at the edge of the planetary system, you see in front of you 7 other ships. One of which you do recognize as a consortium freighter. So you know that you can definitely get gas if you need to. They always carry a lot of fuel, and it is their main purpose to give fuel to other consortium ships that get stranded in space. The other ships that you guys see, there is a consortium scout ship out there. And you also see a consortium fighter. But you can't read its insignia. It looks to have been scraped off the side. And then you see what you would consider just a local cruise ship. Similar to what you guys are flying around in, you know, just a point A to point B kind of ship. You guys have a lot of scientific trappings that a lot of other ships don't. But this ship doesn't have consortium insignias or anything like that. But you do see a portrait of the god Gavin on the side, suggesting that this is probably from the current system. Then the other 3 remaining ships are not identifiable out your view shield. Like, you can see them, but not well enough to know what they are.
Am I able to nimbly get closer to inspect them?
You absolutely are able to get closer, but space has gotten a little crowded. So I am in fact going to need you to roll 3d6 in order to do this, because you are an expert and you're prepared. You knew there were going to be a lot of ships here. And you were trying to get below a 4.
Well, I didn't.
On any of them?
Oh no.
On any of them.
All right.
5 and 2 6s.
Great
Well.
roll otherwise.
Yeah. Truly living up to her name. Crash takes your very nimble and fashionably cloaked ship and bumps it immediately into the side of the consortium scout ship that's closest to you guys. Hold on, what's my map? It's not bad. It's just a little tap. Luckily, unfortunately for you, the scout ship does have superior sensors. That's sort of their whole bag with the whole scouting part of things. And seconds after you gently give them a little bit of a space love tap, similar to what Cynthia does often.
Yes.
Although the scout ship is upset that you didn't ask for consent beforehand.
I wasn't the one making the love tap, so.
Where you are in the cockpit, Crash. Oh, I guess that's a good question. So Crash was in the cockpit piloting the ship. Where does everybody else hang out ship-wise when this happens? This ship everybody's got quarters. There's a galley. There is an engineering room where the actual ship's engine is. There is a med bay. And there's probably another research berth because you're a science ship. And then obviously there's the cockpit.
I'm going
How
to say
big?
that
Oh, go ahead.
I'm in my quarters finishing my routine. So, like,
Okay.
cleaning off the mask.
How big is the cockpit?
All 4 of you could sit there. Actually, all 5 people could sit there if they needed to.
I think I'm up there just keeping an eye on where we are going.
Okay.
Either the med bay or, like, generally when we're traveling, probably the med bay.
Okay.
Doing something weird. but when we approach a place where we are going to be getting off eventually, if there is any way to securely be close to the way to get off the ship,
Yeah.
just close to the door to get off the ship, to quickly get off with a bag.
That
just
makes
like
total
ready
sense.
to go.
Okay. Yep. So for now, probably in medbay. All right. So you run into this consortium scout, and immediately your board lights up. They are hailing you.
The scout ship is tailing us?
Hailing you.
Hailing.
Yeah. Meaning calling you. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, we'll answer that.
Okay.
Are you answering it, Crash, or do you want me to talk to them?
You're probably more diplomatic than me, so that might be a good idea.
Sure.
All right. You answer the hail. And there's a dude just lounging. And he literally goes, Crash, what the fuck, man? Where did you learn to fly? Seriously? Seriously? Are you telling me that you answered this call and then you ran into us? Okay?
Excuse
you
me.
need to just handle yourself. Okay? We've been talking about this.
Excuse me.
Yes. Can I help you?
Yes, actually. Who are you? What is your name, and why are you being so rude?
Oh, I'm sorry. You must be new around here. I'm Brock. I am the pilot of this consortium scout ship, the Falcon. I'm sure you've heard of us. You know,
No,
we are
I haven't.
known for our deep space exploration, for our successful missions for the consortium. And wow, he can't hair toss. He's a guy. I don't know. What do men do?
He could hair toss. Maybe he has long hair.
He has a braid.
Or a rat tail.
Yeah, a rat tail. Brock totally has a rat
Brock
tail.
with a rat tail.
Brock has a rat tail.
And for its hotshot pilot.
If you're such a
I was
hotshot
top
pilot,
of my.
how did I run into you? You should have dodged.
Oh, that's actually a really good point. Also, I'm sorry, I've never heard of the Falcon. Is it supposed to be something?
Never heard of the Falcon. Wow. I feel sorry that you've been stuck so far away, but I'm really not surprised. I mean, after all, I was top of the class and Crash was the bottom, so it makes sense that she would fail to mention me.
Whatever you need to tell yourself to sleep at night, Brock. We all know that the teachers were biased against me, and you were just a little teacher's pet. So like,
Yeah, you can tell by your tail that you're quite good at that, being a pet.
All right, I'm gonna need you to make a feelings roll. You're essentially shutting this guy down, which I'm about. So you need to roll over your feelings. Well,
Me or
over your
Cynthia?
score. No, this is Cynthia.
Okay.
So you need to roll over a 4.
Am I an expert in shutting men down?
Oh, I think definitely. I'll let
so
you
too.
add one if Crash is helping you with the.
Oh, 100%. Brock's an asshole.
I'm prepared to
Beautiful.
fall too.
We stand together.
Yeah.
Okay. I have 2 6s.
All right.
And a 1.
Let's go.
So you come back with that biting remarks, with a little bit of teacher's pet nonsense thrown in from Crack. And Brock goes, well, you should totally know what the Falcon is because we're great. And then ends the call.
This is the moment that
What a
I
dick.
bust in. I have soap all over my face. I have my hair up in a towel. I have my body covered up in a towel. And I'm shouting, what the fuck was that?
Oh, your Majesty, it was just what we call a little space love tap.
out of the viewport, the Falcon does move away from you guys. But he does in fact turn the engines on full, which makes the interior of your cockpit uncomfortably warm for a couple of minutes.
We upset the little manhood of the pilot over there. Sorry, Your Majesty.
So are we going to kill him now?
He's
I'd be
part
fine
of the
with that. He's been a jerk since flight school.
but I believe he's part of the consortium and it's not looked good on to kill
So
one
he's
another.
your trauma?
Oh. Maybe if he gets in the way of our mission, we can dissect him. I'm not interested in actually having anything to do with him in my research.
I just think
It's
it would
not
be
Disex
fun to
worthy.
kill him.
Well, I think first maybe we continue on this part, and if they get in the way.
Yeah. So I'm going to need another set of rolls from our pilot to attempt one more time to move closer. You do get 3d6.
I
And you were
guess
trying to
I'll
roll
go put
under
some
a 4.
clothes on.
Oh, yes, did you want to go finish rinsing off, Your Majesty?
I've got a 1 and
I'll
a 3.
do the fuck what I like. I leave.
A 1 and a 3, and then your other one was over. Okay, so a 1 and a 3. So now you succeed. You are able to, mostly to shove it in Brock's space. You nimbly guide your ship through the rest of the ships until you come to the 3 that you couldn't see before. Now, those 3 ships are lined up right on the edge of the planet. And the first thing that you notice, having traveled in space for quite a while, is that none of these ships show consortium markings or planetary markings. And that's unusual.
Mysterious, perhaps?
Mm-hmm. That would suggest that these ships were custom built, which is a rarity, to be sure. Seeing a single custom built ship is a once in every 10 missions sort of thing. Seeing 3 at the same time is kind of unheard of.
Can I hail one of them?
Yes, you can. You can pick. Well, actually, no. Roll a d6 and I'll pick for you.
Do I need before over or under a 4?
No. You're picking 1 to
which
2.
one did you?
Mm-hmm.
3.
A 3. Okay. So you hail what is the middle ship as you are looking at them. And let me know. So you press the hail button. And after a couple of seconds, your signal is received. But what you see on your screen is only darkness. And a voice, a slightly robotic voice, says, "Please state your purpose."
Hey, Captain. I was just looking at your sweet custom build. I was just wondering what brought you to this part of the galaxy.
We obey and arrive with our captain.
Who's your captain, if you don't mind my asking?
We obey Captain Destiny.
Oh.
I see. Where is Captain Destiny right now?
That information is only for others who obey Captain Destiny.
What makes you think I don't?
You have not given the correct code word.
Interesting point you made there. But neither of you, so like, how do I know that you're really a follower of
That's a
destiny?
good one. That's a good one.
I have already made the request.
So have I.
Your request is not recognized. Goodbye.
All right.
I hate these automated voice things.
Um,
I feel like that's all the ships these days.
So you don't have superior sensors, but you do have sensors. Do you want to try and see what they can tell you about the ship? Yes? No?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you use the sensors to do a scan of the ships. And Siri thought I was talking to her. I am not.
Perfect timing for that.
Really, though.
Art imitates life.
Correct. And a cursory scan with your sensors is able, especially because you moved closer, is able to pick up 3 things about the ship. The first thing that you notice is that there are no biological life forms aboard any ship. You're getting no life signs. So nothing with a heartbeat is currently occupying any of the ships.
Androids have hearts?
An android? No. An android does not have a heart. It's a what's the other one? Cyborg that does. Yeah. So androids do not have a heartbeat. So there could be androids on board. But there are no creatures with heartbeats. Nobody worth dissecting. I don't know if they're worth sleeping with. Well, I don't know. Actually, I guess I should not speak for the good doctors. Perhaps dissecting a cyborg is interesting.
Android.
Yeah, an android. Sorry.
Artificial life is a form of life.
This is true.
And so it could be interesting. Probably not for as long.
I find it more like taking apart a car than a person, in my understanding. Also, they don't reproduce naturally, so it's not really in my field of study.
Not really as interesting to you. That
Correct.
makes sense. The next thing that your sensors notice is that each of these ships' shuttles is no longer on board the ship. You can see all 3 of the shuttle bays are open. And then the other thing that you notice about these ships, which as you get to this in your readout, it occurs to you that from now on you should really rewrite the system so that that's at the top of the readout, because all 3 of them are armed to the teeth and definitely aiming at you and every other ship that's currently there.
They're also aiming at the other consortium ships?
Yes.
Ooh.
Okay. What's the highest ranking consortium ship nearby?
Specifically, they are aiming at you, the consortium freighter, and the scout ship, the Falcon. Because
has anyone gotten off any of those ships yet?
Not that you have noticed. Not since you arrived.
Well, not till Cynthia gets on them. Then they'll get off.
This is true. This is true. Not Brock, though.
No. That Brock will pop off.
Should contact the freighter, but not the scout out of spite.
I was thinking we'll need fuel, so we should keep the freighter safe.
Okay, so you hail the freighter?
Yeah.
Okay. You hail the freighter, and A woman gets on. She's got grease on her face, and she looks a little bit beat up. She says, "Hey, yeah, oh, Crash. I didn't know you guys were still working this sector. What can we do for you?" And you recognize this girl as Bailey,
Bailey.
a pilot mechanic that you've seen previously. I mean, you guys, you end up in the same sector of the consortium. You end up with similar people.
Hey Bailey, yeah, we got rerouted over here to inspect some stuff, but I was talking to those non-consortium ships over there, and they're pointing a bunch of weapons at us. And I thought that you should know that, and maybe we should do something about it.
Well, here's the problem with that, Crash. First off, our weapon system is, as you know, I mean, we've got shields, so don't worry about us. We'll probably be okay. But we don't come with a lot of weapon systems. A lot of the explosives and the amount of fuel that we carry in order to help y'all when you're stranded doesn't really allow for a good mix. But I've got shields at the ready. As for talking to those ships, we've been here for a while. We were the first ones to arrive. And that group of ships was already here. We actually saw them send shuttles down to the surface. My only shuttle, of course, is towing a gas line, so I didn't want to send it down.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if you saw what happened to their shuttles. Yeah, I know you don't have like weapon systems, but I thought maybe you could like maybe try to get a healthy distance, at least that much.
Yeah.
Have you talked to Brock at all since he's been here?
Oh my god.
That's our feelings too.
Unfortunately, of course I have. Because guess who desperately needs fuel? Because what they do is so important. And because somehow, despite the fact that we had to pick up their ass 3 systems over 2 days ago, they have gone through an entire tank. Because scouting uses a lot of fuel. Anyway, he's on my shit list, but they are filled up.
All right. Well, I know there aren't any like life forms aboard those ships. Like our sensors pick that up. So
yeah,
I don't know if you want to work that out. We're kind of fighting right now, so like I don't want to talk to him. But I'm probably gonna go figure out what happened to those shuttles.
Also, there's the other ship. I apologize for jumping in to your communication, but there's the fighter, but the insignia's gone. That ship.
They haven't hailed us, and from what I understand, well, we're not hailing them.
Okay. They got here after you?
Yes. They got here after us. The ship looks beat to shit, if I'm being honest. But if they're not hailing us, it means they don't need fuel, which means that they are not my problem.
That makes sense.
Thanks for the heads up on the guns. We are gonna back ourselves off a little bit. I don't actually know why they bothered to call us out here, but you know how it goes, Crash. Somebody fancy in the consortium calls, and you go.
I get it. All right, thanks, Bailey. It was good talking to you.
Always a pleasure. And shuts down. Yeah.
Great. If we like use our sensors on the fighter, do we see anything?
Okay. So if you use your sensors on the fighter, let me. So you use your sensors on the fighter ship, but they are. It is despite the fact that Bailey's right and it's beat to shit. It is a much better equipped ship than the 3 custom-made ones that you were encountering, which means that your sensors can't really go beyond the outside of the ship. So it's not able to tell you if there's anything inside. It is equipped with guns, but nothing seems to be actively trained on anyone at this moment.
Well, that's nice.
Mhm.
Where is the
And the
Falcon?
ship's engines are
Oh,
running.
sorry. Where's the Falcon in relation to us now?
So you guys are up in front of the ships. The Falcon is a little bit behind you, and the consortium freighter is moving further and further back. Was pretty close to you, but is now moving further and further back. The local cruise ship and the fighter.
Oh, yeah.
So like the local cruise ship and the fighter are, I would say, about even with where the Falcon was. You had kind of had to weave in between the three of them in order to get up where you are.
What do you think we should do, Cynthia?
I feel like if the flyboy Brock wants to really show off, maybe we should encourage that.
I mean, whatever your plan is, I'm for it. I don't really want to talk to him again, but power to you.
Yeah. Well, my general thought is, well, these types of men like to show that they have large organs. And so, if we allow them the opportunity to show us just how big that organ is, maybe they'll take the fire off of us so we can get down to the planet's surface.
I'm all for that, as long as, well, I know they have weapons trained on all of us, so as long as that
Yeah.
does shift focus, I'm all for it.
Doesn't hurt to try.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
So,
Are you going to hail, or, and this is just a suggestion, you do have somebody whose like main purpose is negotiation.
is
Yeah, we
that,
should probably update the rest of the crew on what's
yeah.
happening.
Can we do that
Cinnamon
over
thing
like
cutting stuff up.
the
Yeah, you
comm?
guys have like ship's comms, but you do know that Queen Gala is an envoy, and that part of her purpose is political discourse.
Though she was all about killing the people on the Falcon. Well, at least Brock.
Yeah, and this feeds well into that too.
Wonderful. Calm. Your Majesty, Queen Gala.
Yes.
I do love how you answer the comms. Would you be willing to come up to the bridge? We have a suggestion of maybe some diplomatic interest to achieve a couple ends. One primary one being that we end the annoying life of the flyboy captain of the Falcon.
Death. I shall be up there shortly. I slink my way back into the. At this point, I'm now wearing like a normal turban. I have like this like fluffy like nightie with like all of these like feathers and ruffles, and I have this like poof ball pet that I'm like petting. It's like purring to itself like and I make my way onto the bridge. So I hear that we are talking death.
It's merely a suggestion. Oh, I'm freezing up a little. One moment.
Diplomatic death is one of my favorites.
All right, so do you hail the ship?
But wait, what? What is going on? So what? So obviously we want Brock dead. That is
Yes.
what we all have agreed upon. But what is our plan?
Well, a cat and mouse, perhaps a little bit. So we want the Falcon to draw the fire of the 3 ships that you see here in front of us because they're, well, currently training their armaments on us. And we need to get down to the ship's or to the planet's surface to investigate the shuttles that have been launched from these ships. They are serving the Captain Destiny, I believe.
Ah, yes. Okay. I think I know exactly what to do. Isn't that right, Poopsie? That's right. Your mommy knows what she's doing. Put him on.
Um, Crash, can you do the hailing part? I never remember which button to push.
Yeah, I got you.
All right.
Oh, and Doctor, could you hold this for me?
Oh, yes. Hello, poofball thing.
Its name is uh its name is Gurgle.
Gurgle. What a sweet creature.
It's like
Cynthia trying to decide if it's sentient enough to consent.
It's too small for my purposes. I try to go with larger life forms at this time.
You don't know how big it gets when you get it wet.
Oh, that is a good question. What if you feed it after midnight?
I've never fed it once in my entire life, so your guess is as good as mine. You
Yeah,
like
we need
science.
to yeah, we need to make sure that Froggy doesn't see this.
Why? Oh,
Because she
okay.
might be tempted to dissect it. I'm just gonna put it in my coat. Does it
Oh,
like
right. She
enclose
does
spaces?
like to do that. Yeah, it fucks around with whatever
Oh,
you want to do to it.
maybe I don't want to put it in there. Here you go.
All right. Crash presses the hail. Seriously, Crash, what the? Oh, hi. Uh, hi, Your Majesty. I'm Brock, pilot of the Falcon. At your service, of course. I'm sure you've heard of me.
I have not, but I have noticed that you seem to be whatever accounts for the strongest thing in this sphere or what have you.
Oh, well, thanks. It's
Mm-hmm.
nice to be noticed.
Oh, yes, you're welcome. That's noticing things is what I'm best at. Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, this is doing so much for me. So what I need you to do, is my main question to you is how these foreign ships have been allowed to be in your sector and you haven't done anything about it yet.
Uh, well, I mean, our orders were to come here because of the ruins, not because of the other ships. So we
But how
just
can you get to the ruins if the ships are in the way?
you're right. You're right about that. You know
I'm
what?
right about a
No,
lot of things.
you're right, Your Majesty, and we have been slacking, and I am so sorry. But don't worry, we will keep you and Crash's little ship completely protected. Okay? You don't need to worry a pretty bone in your body about anything. Okay? We've got this. We've got it handled. Uh, in fact, me and my gang back there, Chad and Chad Michael, are going to take out these ships right now.
You better.
Yes, and when we're done, maybe I'll see you and get an accommodation for my bravery.
Maybe. Well, we'll see how you do.
All right, and he clicks the button. Goes off. And then
Jesus. If I
hang on a
hadn't
second.
already showered today.
And let me
Would you like
see
your friend back? Yeah.
how
Oh,
things
yes,
go
thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yes.
for
Ah,
Brock,
yes.
Chad, and
Thank
Chad
you.
Michael.
One of them's just Murray as well. Just gonna finish it out.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you're right. Lasers, you want to roll under. Well, good news or bad news. This depends on your opinion. Those boys are all lasers and no feelings.
I've heard that before.
They think they're feelings. But that means that actually they're unfortunately really good pilots and really good fighters, because that's all lasers. And so, as their video game training has allowed, they shoot the shit out of all three of those ships. Like, it's just like a flyby destruction. And those custom ships, and Crash, you wanted this, but also it hurts you a little to see custom built ships, one of space's unique mysteries, because the origins of them are not known, go up in explosions that shouldn't and yet do happen in space.
One of the great anomalies.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that is one of the greatest mysteries, honestly.
How does it burn when there's no oxygen?
But the ships do blow up, and you receive a hail back from the Falcon. Are you going to answer?
Your Majesty, do you want to talk to him again?
No. But I guess I should. Answer the hail.
Do you answer?
Yes.
You see that? We took out those suckers like it was nothing. All for you, Your Majesty.
Brennan,
of course.
Did you see that? There was an explosion in space. That shouldn't even happen.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. The frog gets it.
That was
did you
make that happen?
That was us defying the laws of physics and destroying all of the enemies.
You have to get down to that planet. I absolutely have to meet you. That was very impressive.
Oh,
I'm sure that we can let them aboard our ship.
Or we could go down to the planet and meet them there. I think that's a great idea, Doctor.
Oh, that's an excellent idea. Yes. Let's all go down to the planet.
Your Majesty, we would love. We are on our way. We will see you there. Dude, did you hear that? The Queen's gonna meet a holy shit.
End the thing.
I really want to dissect the hands that did that. And
that's a great idea.
The brains that were stupid enough to make that move, they were so close to the other ship when that exploded. I can't believe they thought that was a good idea.
Honestly, I think this works out for us.
All right, so you guys are taking your shuttle down to the surface, or are you gonna
after them?
Oh yeah.
Want to let them enter the atmosphere? Let them.
Well, as
or whatever might be trained at them.
Yeah, as you guys watch, the Falcon does not send their shuttle. Brock just pilots the whole ship down to the surface.
Mm-hmm. Incredible.
Yep. He's like, yeah, we're gonna do. Who leaves their big ass ship in space when they could take it to the surface? Hit that planet.
This is why they run out of fuel.
Correct.
One brain cell.
So they do land. Your hail lights up again, and it is the consortium freighter. Do you want to answer?
Yeah.
What the hell just happened?
We had Queen Gala de la Cassiopeia talk to Brock and convince him to blow up those ships.
I am actually mad impressed. Crash, that was only disappointing because he somehow fucking did it.
Yeah, we have to agree with that.
Don't worry, I'm gonna dissect his brain.
Did you see him land his whole ship on the planet?
Yeah, fucking dumbass.
He took a whole scout ship down to the surface. Do you know how much fuel it takes to leave the surface of a planet?
But he's
My
not.
first thought was of you, Bailey.
He's not gonna come back up. I'm gonna dissect him.
Figuratively for now, Doctor.
I've decided that I'm scrubbing that from the record, and I will not know this fact. But I am happy to report the ship as missing when you guys come back later. I'm gonna keep an eye on things here. If you guys are cool on the, I would actually rather just not go to the surface, all things considered.
Could you keep an eye on our ship?
Can they refuel us?
Yeah, is that a thing?
Oh yes, absolutely. You guys need a top off? You got it.
We're gonna take our shuttle.
I'm gonna send a shuttle. I'm gonna send our fuel line shuttle over to dock with you guys right now.
And we're gonna shuttle down to
Great. You'll be fueled up when you come back.
Excellent.
Always a pleasure, Crash.
Thank you so much. This was an excellent transaction.
All right. Well, freighter out. And Bailey ends the call. And you guys see the freighter, like, they have a shuttle that has a giant fuel line connected to it. Starts to fly your way to dock with you guys and refuel. Yeah, it's like a giant umbilical cord from the
I
ship.
imagined it as like those pool cleaning robots.
Oh yeah.
It's that vibe.
Totally what I see.
Yes, exactly that vibe. Okay, so you guys hop on your shuttle and head down to the surface.
And like the ship is like safe without us, right? Like it's not just gonna like yeet.
Oh yeah. No, it won't go
Bailey
anywhere.
won't let anything happen to it. I've made it her responsibility.
Yeah. And keep in mind that the freighter has incredible shields.
Yeah.
So Bailey will happily put her ship between yours and any trouble that might happen in space.
Cool.
You guys take your shuttle down to the surface. Piloting the shuttle is easy. This planet's atmosphere is pretty basic. There's nothing really for you to contend against. The frickin' Falcon is really obvious. Where it has landed in a space that should not have fit a ship that size. And in fact does not fit a ship that size, as evidenced by the several destroyed buildings currently under what is the Falcon.
I hope those weren't the ruins.
Fairy bookshop.
There's a fairy bookshop.
There was a fairy bookshop here.
Oh my god.
No, it is what you guys see as you come down. You can see the ruins in the distance. It's very classic stone temple looking. But where you guys come down and where you see the Falcon Landing is actually I would say mid-technology town. Something that we would consider modern in like that you all would consider pretty modern. This planet obviously is part of the consortium now. The consortium protects it. They have all the technology you would expect at this point in time. Your shuttle, on the other hand, lands nicely on the pad designed for shuttles and ships the size of shuttles, which is what should be traveling to a planet and visiting a city like this. As soon as you like lower the gangplank and step off the ship, I assume Froggy steps off first. Because Froggy is always by the door with a bag, ready to go.
Want to see the life forms on the planet. Want to see the life forms on the planet.
Okay. So you step off the ship and you are immediately greeted by the first person who greets you is a humanoid. In a consortium uniform, he says, "Welcome to the port at Gavin 7. We knew that you guys would be coming here. We want to thank you very much for bringing your shuttle to the surface of our planet. Is there anything that your shuttle needs? And also, can you please give me the insignia for your ship and your captain and pilot's name so I can log you into the system.
Yes, I am the pilot, Cassandra Ashford. People know me as my call sign Crash. Our captain is Captain Darcy. I'm the insignia also.
Yeah. The call sign for the ship. So you guys are the Raptor.
Yeah.
The Raptor.
Okay. And the Raptor. All right. Thank you guys very much. Your shuttle has been logged into the system. I'm going to have my crew give it a once over. So the other thing that you should know, because it's important, there were some shuttles that landed about an hour ago, but they didn't come to town. They landed on the other side of the temple. I told the guy in that ship that crushed several businesses what was going. Luckily, no one is dead. Luckily for him, no one is dead. But I let them know what was happening, and they yelled something about defending a queen and went off in that direction.
Great. Perfect. The shuttles that were over there, did you send anyone there to check those shuttles in?
No, I heard the consortium all hail, but everybody else here on this planet, aside from me and the guy who works second shift, are civilians. Are the main guard of consortium. There are a few stationed at the temple, but we didn't have anybody to send.
And does no one got injured in these crushed businesses? No one needs medical attention?
Oh my gosh, are you a doctor?
Yes.
That actually
doctor
would be incredibly helpful. We have two injured locals. One, it looks like she might lose her left leg. Well,
that's
her
good then.
secondary left leg. It seems like her main left leg is mostly intact. And we have another visiting emissary, actually, who was visiting the bookshop. Just some lacerations to their carapace, and I'm a little concerned about it.
I can attempt to help them, and I have my big medical bag and all my medical supplies.
Great. So if you just follow me this way, I can show you where that is.
Should we supervise to make sure that Froggy doesn't?
I can go with her.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
You're welcome. Honestly, my presence would probably help the spirits of those ailing, as is usually the case with my queenly presence.
Yes.
Actually, that would be wonderful.
I know, you're welcome.
Your Majesty, I actually would love your help if you have the language skills to speak to the injured visiting royal, because I do not.
Darkness has fallen.
Does the visiting royal come from a planet that speaks a different language?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm good at languages.
Yes, he does. It's mostly some plaques and clicks, and I failed my language training.
Well, I speak 567 languages, so...
Oh,
perfect.
wonderful.
All right, so the captain is going to take Froggy and the queen off that direction, Celia and the queen. Do the two of you want to follow and see what happens? Or are you thinking that you're going to head off in the direction that Brock, Chad, and Chad Michael went?
Hesitant to split the party.
Same.
All right, so then you just follow along. You are led to under the Falcon, where there is a bit of a makeshift area set up. You see a young woman there, clearly a native to this Gavin planet. For those of you who are familiar, which is mostly Crash, maybe Cynthia, although I don't know if you come out to this system or if you've come on the system yet.
I've done some research, just not all of it. I haven't completed.
So there are a couple of locals. The local aliens here are vaguely humanoid in shape, but they feature a lot more limbs. So as their hips hinge, they have legs like you would expect, and then a secondary set of legs that extend out, similar to like the legs of like a tripod sort of situation. And their walk is kind of a rock back and forth as they move, using those out exterior and interior legs. And they also feature a set of upper and lower arms. So they do in fact have 8 limbs in total, but they are definitely differentiated into legs and arms. Their faces are similar in proportion to what you expect from a humanoid face, although they do also have double sets of eyes, one set above the other. You see one of them lying injured with their left outer leg torn and mangled. And you see another one, young, you'd guess female or whatever would pass for female from the evidence of the mammary glands, is kneeling over, attempting to bandage the leg, clearly out of her depth. And on another stretcher lays an insectoid looking alien. Think more like, I don't know, sort of like the bugs from Starship Troopers, you know, like it's like a, or like the character from Justice League, like a pill bug, but with arms and legs. So it's like got a big keratin shell on the back of it. And it is currently laying on its front on the mat. So what you guys see is mostly the big keratin shell, which is cracked and scratched and oozing this kind of slightly disgusting smelling brownish liquid. What do you do?
I'm going to pull a mask out of my dress and I'm going to put it on like this. Don't worry, we are here to help.
The young woman looks up and goes, "Oh, Captain, you found somebody who could help? Is one of you a doctor?"
Yes, that one.
Medical doctor.
Yes. And I actually probably, if for those who are unaware, this whole time I have had 4 arms. So I actually actually could probably help the person with the multiple limbs situation. Okay. I'm going to probably roll for both of these regardless of the outcome, but do a for lasers roll and a for feelings roll to
decide how you do it.
So I'll do lasers first and then I'll do feelings but like it'll be we'll try to make the limb better and then a like pep talk about the situation. Okay. But we'll see if we can heal the leg as much as possible.
And I'm gonna help the feelings bit by standing as far away as possible, but just doing like an outreach, like keep calm and carry on.
Yeah, you're sending thoughts and prayers, and we love it.
Yes, I am, from as far away as possible.
Mm-hmm. So do you think it'll be 2 dice or 3 for medical healing?
For the medical one, I feel like you are obviously an expert and you are always prepared for potentially cutting something apart.
Yeah. Yeah, so I feel pretty good about the medical situation. I need to go above though.
No, lasers you want under.
Yeah.
So you're looking
Well, then
for
I'm all
under
good.
3.
All three of them are under. 2 2.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
Amazing.
You kneel down next to this person and you go, don't worry. I have 4 limbs too. I know exactly how to handle this.
I'm a
And
doctor.
you do. Not only are you able to correctly assess the damage to the leg, but you're able to repair it beautifully. You maybe, I don't know how you feel. And in addition, because you had 3 successes, you are actually able to, while reconstructing, learn more about this alien physiology than you might have learned taking that leg apart as you build it up piece by piece and put it back together.
Well, and I'm sure it was so mangled that it was basically dissected, so I don't feel the need to dissect, and that's very satiating.
Yep. Yeah, you have learned a lot from putting this leg back together. And you put it back together so well that the man on the cot just looks up at you and goes, I don't think my leg has felt that good in years. Thank you so much.
And then to try to make the feelings, I feel like he's feeling great. So I want to make the feelings of the whole ward feel good. You know, the whole 2-person ward, and also the people who have been, thoughts and prayers. So probably 2 for those, right? And I miserably fail at that because those need to be high numbers, right?
Yes, you need to roll over a 3.
So I got a 2 and a 1. So I brilliantly repair this and then stand up and say, we're all gonna die someday.
The man looks at you and says, you need to go talk to my wife, and gets up and hobbles away with the help of the young woman. Meanwhile, the person on the carapace on the cot, is just making a lot of like clicks and weird sounds. They sound absolutely mournful. Queen Gala, because you speak a million languages and we're just going to let you, that's totally fine. What you hear is, woe is me. I'll never see my kingdom again, for death is coming for us all.
But like,
I can't hold on any longer.
And this is in the clicks language.
Yes.
But like, not like immediate death.
I want you to roll a feelings roll to try and like counteract this absolute failure. You do get. Ooh. I mean, I feel like you are good at talking to people, but pep talks aren't really your strong point. So I'm gonna give you. I'm willing to give you 2 dice for this.
Okay.
You were prepared to have to speak the alien language. You want to roll over a 2.
Oh, I got 5 and 6.
All right. You absolutely succeed. Your pep talk quells the sobbing and existential crisis.
You know, whenever one of my subjects is feeling down in the dumps, I simply go out on my balcony and I say, remember how majestic I am and how difficult it is for any one being to be this majestic. And remember that that's important to remember.
That was a lot of interesting click sounds.
And you solve. They say through their language, "Thank you. You're the first person who's been able to speak to me since I got here, and I understand the common languages, of course, but my mouth can't speak them back, and
Mm.
hearing that in my language really meant everything.
I know it did.
Do you suppose you could ask that doctor to remove the piece of shrapnel stuck in my back?
Oh.
Ugh. Um, yes, 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 I can do that. Ugh. Celia.
One of my hands always has a glove for this exact kind of situation. Heavy duty leather glove, just done.
So
Okay,
efficient.
great. Yeah, so you
What happens when she does that?
that you well actually I'm gonna have you roll again. Roll
Okay.
roll me a
Me?
roll me a
Oh.
lasers.
How many dice?
Me?
Oh yeah. Yes, you, Celia. And
I was
3.
gonna ask, since Cynthia was here,
Yeah.
if Cynthia's studies had any like biological insight onto this kind of body, since I felt like I maybe hadn't seen something quite
Oh.
like this exoskeleton-y before.
Yes, I believe I have seen something of a similar body type, at least with a carapace. I'm not quite sure if I've seen this exact creature, but or exact alien species, but
Or if that could lend me any
yeah, is that acceptable to have some?
Yeah, I think you can lend some help. I'm willing
Okay.
to let you do that. So in that case you can roll 3 dice.
Here's my assistance. Beware of the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're trying to roll
Two,
under. 2 successes?
2 6s and a 3, so one that is
Ooh,
mine.
laser feelings. All right.
Laser feelings.
Laser feelings.
All right.
They're lasers.
So
and they're
with
feelings.
laser feelings, you get to ask a question that you can then implement, which will.
Which my question is, does this person wish for death?
They would have if they hadn't gotten an incredible pep talk
Okay.
from the queen. So now they do not, in fact, wish for death.
So like this shrapnel pull isn't like just kill me now. This would actually help them.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Yeah. Then I'll do the thing that they say, and try to repair them with my 2 6s.
So you reach the 2 6s. You have to roll under for lasers.
Oh.
Only your 3 is good.
A 3.
Fuck.
So you
Fun.
pull the piece of shrapnel out. You're very successful at that. But unfortunately, because you are barely managing it, there is a small cost to this. And that is that you manage to sever something internally in them. And although they will survive, they will never be able to close their carapace and protect themselves the same way again.
Mm.
But they do have a will to live, thanks to the queen's
That's
speech.
good.
So you finish that up, and the captain says, "Oh my goodness, thank you guys so much. I was maybe going to remove that shrapnel myself, but I was a little scared of it. So I'm really glad that you were there to help."
How big is this creature?
Medium size, human size.
Human size. I think it at some point instead of the like excuse me has the queen communicated to us that this person can understand common language, they just can't speak it?
No.
Can you understand me, clicky person?
First off, that is tremendously racist. Yes, they can understand you. They just can't speak in your language.
Great. So I recommend, if you want some protection from the world in the way that you are currently unable to protect yourself, that you maybe acquire
to cover yourself with 3 thimbles.
That would be a big help.
That would be a big help. They thank you, and do say that would be a big help. And
Why is this so Stardust coded?
I don't know, but Mallory did it, and she crushed a fairy bookshop, and you know what?
Yeah.
The fucking fairy bookshop is 3 thimbles.
3 symbols.
So
Thimbles.
Yep.
that would be a big help.
That would be a big help. So
My goodness.
you walk away. The captain says, "Thank you so much.
Is the
I really
captain
appreciate you."
one of the Gavanese people?
No, he's human from the consortium.
Lame.
Do we know anything about the Gavanese people in like have we encountered anyone?
Yeah, that's the
So
first
the
one you
Gavanese
healed.
are the 4-armed, 4-legged.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, the one ran away to his wife, so I couldn't ask him if he wanted to help me with my research.
But they speak common.
But there was the female who stayed.
Oh, is she still there?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
then
she was trying to help the person with the carapace too.
wonderful. As all that's happening and things, can I talk to her?
Yes, you absolutely can.
You get sex, I'll find 3 thimbles.
Beautiful. I don't really know why you need thimbles, but okay.
Who has 3 thimbles?
It's a useful protection. Hello there. You were quite trying to help out these poor people.
Yes, I was trying to train to be a doctor before our current doctor died and couldn't train me anymore.
I'm so sorry to hear that. What happened with the current doctor? Well, the past doctor, I guess now.
Yes, he got old. It's hard to find people to go into the medical profession here. A lot of people think that the great god Gavin will save you from all that ails you.
And we both know that's not how that works.
I firmly do not believe that. Otherwise, my help and your help wouldn't have been needed.
I will say I haven't done much other than provide some.
Well, she gestured grandly to you.
Well, Dr. Celia is quite talented with her medical things. And I am also a doctor, though not a doctor of medicine.
Oh. You are a doctor of what?
Biology, specifically. And I am conducting research, actually, on, well, reproductive habits, actually.
Oh, interesting.
So it does involve a bit of the body. I mean, not the same as a medical doctor, of course, but it is still hands-on research.
So she kind of turns like a darker green when you say this.
I'm sorry, do you mind if I pull out a quick notepad? And I'm just going to pull out like a digital pad to make basic notes on. I don't mean to make you uncomfortable, but I noticed that you are a different shade now. Would you say that was a response?
Yes. That's a response.
So my I'm just pale human, as you see here. So my species, we call that blushing. It is usually a physiological response to an outside stimulant. Sometimes it's embarrassment, other times it's, well, arousal. Would you say you're experiencing either embarrassment or arousal?
Yes, we call this extra.
Extra. Oh, thank you.
And I would say that it happens when you experience more emotion. Sometimes, as you said, embarrassment or arousal or excitement.
Oh, and which of these feelings are you currently experiencing?
And she just like goes even darker green. Um, uh, the talk of your profession has arousal. Yeah,
Oh,
arousal. Um,
yes, of course. No, please
I
don't be
should be
embarrassed by
better.
that. It's just, no, it is
And
a pure
now,
physiological
it's
response.
actually embarrassment. It
Oh,
was,
oh.
and now it's.
This is completely normal, in fact. I've studied many different species, and oftentimes you will have the two interlocked together in a way. Would you be more comfortable if we moved perhaps somewhere more private so we could continue talking?
Uh, that that would be fine with me. Yes, I would love to help you with your research.
Marvelous. I have a very short questionnaire, and then the practical research. Well, I guess it kind of depends on the answers to your questionnaire, how long it would take.
Seems like we are losing Cynthia for a little while she conducts some research. So
Yes.
perhaps we should rest.
I was gonna say, do you guys want to rest, or we can also just take Cynthia's research off screen. I'm gonna have you roll a feelings for me. Well, no, your lasers. I'm gonna have you roll
Yeah.
lasers for me to see how well this research goes.
Am I rolling 3 die? Because this is my
Yes, this is
everything.
absolutely your wheelhouse.
Try to find out if there's anything on the planet we should know about. The ruins.
That does sound like a great idea. If there's any booby traps or
Yeah, go ahead.
etc.
So roll your 3 die,
I need to
and you're
roll.
trying to get below a 4.
Okay. I got 2 successes, a 3 and a 1 and a 5.
Okay, so you got 2 successes. Your research goes off without a hitch. Not only have you found a willing and consenting participant to
Wonderful.
your research, because of her medical training, she's actually able to answer the questions in a rather scientific way.
Oh, marvelous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys have the weirdest pillow talk ever. And it's mostly a lot of like, okay, but how does this make you feel? Okay, but how does this make you feel? And you're getting actual diagnostic results. And it's impressive. Like it goes very, very, very well.
Oh, wonderful. I do want to note that I want to encourage her to go off world if necessary to continue her doctor training.
Okay. Yeah. So you have a good amount of research,
Yes.
some very scientific pillow talk, and then you encourage her in her future pursuits, which does make her very, very happy. You learn a lot about the physiology of the femme creatures, femme aliens here, the femme Gavin natives, and I would say that she leaves quite satisfied with how the research.
Marvelous.
You also, because you succeeded, you also wanted to know, right, about the planet.
Yes.
So what she lets you know about the ruins is that the consortium came to guard the ruins a long time ago. Basically, in their recorded history has like the period, the god period has before Gavin, of which there's very little known, has the rule of Gavin, where the god live amongst them, which a lot of people believe, which she very clearly doesn't believe. She thinks it's just some bullshit myth. But in the time since Gavin no longer lived amongst the people, there have been consortium guards at the temple ruins, and that what made them ruins was the god leading Gavin.
Mm.
And in their mythology, it was him ascending to a higher plane to prepare it for the people of Gavin.
So likely some type of
In science, it's
vessel
probably a ship taking off.
ship took off. Yeah.
But that has been centuries.
Interesting.
All right. So you bring back that information. Are you guys going to head towards the temple?
I think so.
All right, crew, let's go solve a mystery.
Mm-hmm.
Love that for us.
All right. So you guys head towards the temple. For you guys, it's for everybody, I suppose, except for Queen. I don't know how much walking you do, Gala de la Cassiopeia.
A queen doesn't walk, she floats and glides.
Yes. It is a relatively easy glide towards the temple.
Sorry, I was muted. I'm exhausted.
Yeah. It's I would say a relatively easy walk. Nothing too crazy, nothing that you're really encountering while you're out there. It's clearly a well-traversed path. It's obvious that both the temple guards and the people of the village do go regularly to these ruins. Like they are an important cultural and scientific touchstone for the community. So it's a well-trodden path. And while you're along the path, there are actually some signposts, that explain a little bit of the legend of Gavin and his arrival on the planet and the eventual, and all of the gifts that he gave the people and all the things that he brought and that sort of mythology, and his eventual rise from the planet, and that the temple was never to be rebuilt. Because of course this is how he left it, and the legend that the seat of the god's power remains in the temple, but it is only for the worthy and is awaiting his return. So like no one would go find it, obviously. Jeez, what kind of heretic would go looking for something that should only belong to the god? Yeah, so they're just it's like it's like visiting a museum or a temple here. There's just some signposts that give you information. You're like, oh wow, it's actually really well set up. They have incredible infrastructure here as it relates to education and preservation.
Of their religion.
Yes, correct.
Not medical.
No, not medical.
Is there any sign of those shuttles?
So as you approach the temple ruins, you can sort of see a glint off to the other side, but it's clear that those shuttles landed on the other side of the temple about the same distance away as you were in the village. So whoever came from them also walked up. But as you get closer to the temple, you hear the unmistakable sounds of a laser gunfight. Just pew, pew, pew all over the place. And you also hear a voice that you are just delighted to hear. So you're back up. Yeah, let's get him, Chad.
It's our
They'll
favorite
teach him to
people.
mess with us.
I really hope you get the opportunity to dissect him, Froggy.
How close are we to Brock? Does he see us?
So you can't see any of them right now. You're sort of like outside the ruins, but through the doorway to the temple, you do see some laser fire. Like
Do we know who they're fighting?
What?
Do we know who they're fighting?
No, you don't. Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Somebody attached to this Captain Destiny or Destiny Cap, whatever his name is.
Are
Potentially.
you armed? Yes. All of you guys are armed. part of what you have. Everybody has a like a space phone camera communicator and a phase pistol that you can set from everything from stun to disintegrate.
Ooh.
Oh, I didn't catch that, Amanda.
Oh, I just repeated disintegrate in a
Oh,
voice.
okay.
Okay. Well, I would like to continue approaching, but like cautiously.
Should we see if there's another way into the temple other than this one door? Is there any other way in?
Go ahead and roll me. Well, actually, I'm gonna have Crash roll for this, and you can roll 2 dice. You'd be good at
Positive
this
feelings.
exploration.
Well, positive lasers.
2 and a 4. Laser feelings.
Laser
Yeah,
feelings.
laser feelings.
Woo!
All right. So that is automatically a success. Actually, you got 2 successes. You rolled on your laser's full. So you have a success, and because you got laser feelings, you'll get an extra effect, and you get to ask a question. So what you get with your roll is that you do see, I mean, these are temple ruins. So the main door and this front wall is mostly intact. But you notice as you go around to the side that there is a section of wall collapsed in that would allow you to easily enter the temple.
I think I want to just start shooting at whatever Brock's shooting at.
And then, did you have a question?
You know what? I think I'm also going to shoot with Cilia.
I think part of my new dissection process will be really getting into the mind of my subject. So I want to just start like doing what he's doing.
Okay,
fun.
I love that.
But Amanda gets a question first. My bad.
Can I ask, what's the code word for followers of Destiny?
Ooh, okay. Yes, you can ask this, and you already know the answer, and it's really going to anger you.
Do I?
Yes. Because
Okay.
it's Stardust. And I really was waiting for you. I thought you'd say it. I
should have.
I thought when they asked for a code word that you'd just say it. So I've catered this game to a specific audience, and they are in fact part of this game. So
Amazing.
yeah, but the code word is Stardust.
Great.
Okay, so you guys are gonna come around the corner. And when you come around the corner to this broken out piece of wall, you see Brock, and who Crash and probably no one else would recognize as Chad and Chad Michael.
But Murray.
Because of course the scout ship is entirely crewed by hotshot pilots.
Of course.
Because that's the way that things like that work. And because Brock only wanted to hang out with his friends. Like, why would he join a ship that didn't have his dudes on it?
It's a flying frat. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So you, as you come around the corner, can see them. They are sort of pressed up against a couple of columns. And across the way from them, you see another humanoid, a woman. And none of you recognize her, but she is wearing a consortium uniform, but it's a few generations old.
Mm.
So it's nothing what you guys have now, but you can recognize it as an older consortium uniform. With her is a Gavin local, a Gavin native alien, and another human in an older consortium uniform. Scattered on the temple floor, you do see the body of 2 people in current consortium uniforms, and several bodies of other aliens that you don't necessarily recognize. Like, you could probably recognize them if you took the time, but you don't recognize them right now. It looks like, if you had to guess, that those 3 small ships were probably each had a crew of 3, and assuming at least one of them was a silicate android-based life form, judging from your communication with them. Probably 6 people came down to this planet, and right now 3 of them are still alive. Brock is shooting lasers horribly inaccurately, but with great zeal. He's really, you watch him dart between the columns like he is just the world's best soldier, hooting and hollering and shooting his laser at mostly other pieces of the temple. Chad is cradling his arm, which is bleeding profusely. And he keeps saying things like, "It's all right, dude. I got this. Don't stay for me. Just fight the enemy in my honor.
Go on,
he will
bro.
be fine." Chad Michael, meanwhile, actually isn't a bad shot. You get the feeling that perhaps some of the current fallen soldiers were his doing, and that definitely he must be the one who shot down all of those other ships. He, on the other hand, is not running around. He is staying protected behind one column, sticking out to make some shots, coming back. Now, is he still annoyingly yelling at everybody else? Yes, absolutely. Is he hooting and hollering every time he hits something? Absolutely, he is. But he just happens to be a skilled asshole.
Is anyone shooting back at them?
Yes. So those 3, the 2 humans in old consortium uniforms and the one Gavin local.
Yeah, I mean, pistol set to stun. I want to shoot, but I want to be more focused on physically following Brock's movement and like being a like cool looking duo with him than accurately hitting anyone.
Okay, please roll feelings for that. This feels like a feelings roll.
Amazing.
So I need to roll
over 3.
I probably need 2 dice. 1 dice?
For this, I think you could roll 2. You were prepared for a fight.
Great. A 6 and a 4.
Well, hey, 2 successes. Yeah. You walk up to Brock and something compels you to be like, "Hey, I got your back, bro." And then you do. It's like you step into his mind. You know, you really get a feel, and the 2 of you move in perfect synchronicity, in completely idiotic formation through this temple, shooting largely at the columns that hold up what remains of the ceiling.
I'm going to stay slightly outside of the temple.
I think I would also set my laser to stun. But honestly, I might also shoot at the people that the boys are shooting at.
Yeah, that's
the old uniforms are suspicious.
Yeah, so go ahead. This is a lasers roll because you are using science and technology.
How many dice?
This is something you do, so you're prepared and you're good at shooting. 3 dice.
I would like to say, if I successfully get all of the the suspicious people, I would like to also stun Brock.
Okay. If you get 3 successes, you get to do that.
Great.
I was just going to contemplate shooting Brock and Chad Michael right away.
2 2s and a 4.
2 2s and a 4. Wait, what is yours? You are 4, right?
Laser feeling.
Laser feelings!
And 3 successes.
Hey.
So Crash steps into the temple. And you tell me, how do you take all 3 of them and then Brock down?
I mean, they're focused on the boys, right?
Yes.
So I feel like I walk in, I'm just like, boom, boom. The third one is like, what happened? Looks at me. And then I go, that one. And then Brock turns to be like, oh.
Bro.
I
And
hit
I'm like,
that one. Did you see?
Yeah.
hi, Brock.
100% appreciate
All
that.
of your shots hit home. It's just boom, boom, boom. And then, hi, Brock. Celia drops as if stunned. She's just so ensconced in what Brock is doing that she's also going to experience this stun.
While she's stunned, I would like to walk up to her and like whisper in her ear, Celia,
Yes.
I will give you exactly what you want. But first, I need to have Brock before you do what you want to do to him.
And then can I stun Chad and Chad Michael well?
Okay, yes,
No. Before you do that, so I finish saying that to Celia, and then I turn and I go, oh, Brock and no, oh Chad Michael, oh the poor fallen Brock here. Oh, it is so sad. Oh, could you strapping young men, oh please bring this fallen hero to my shuttle.
I'll have gone towards to shoot him, and then I'll be like, no.
And I'll like
Touch my
take
head.
it and be like,
Yeah. I'm just like,
And Chad Michael stands up and goes, yeah, yes, of course, Queen. And he holsters his gun. Meanwhile, Chad is like, oh no, dude, it's not worth it. Go on without me.
You're fine, Chad. That barely grazed you.
I got so injured in this battle, you know.
I'm gonna kick Celia and I'm gonna be like, this guy's injured.
Yeah. I'm a doctor. I'm a medic. Do you need medical attention? Would you like to be helped? I can give you a really good like medical attention, and also I'm like cute and hot, so like a hot doctor can tend to your war wounds.
Oh my gosh. No, that would be, yeah, please. Meanwhile, Chad Michael's like, Chad Michael comes over to you. He goes, please, dude, take care of my friend. I'm leaving him in your very gorgeous hands. And then Chad Michael, proving that yet again he is the most capable, because the dice said so, this entire crew, just scoops Brock up in a bridal carry.
Oh, that's romantic.
And says, I will take my bro to your shuttle. Do you need anything else from me, Queen?
No, I'll be joining you momentarily. The three of you, you've got this, yes?
Yes, you can go take care of Brock.
I wish only to earn your favor. And then he like walks out.
Oh, you'll earn more than enough, Chad, Michael, whatever.
Marie, maybe.
Maybe. So
Okay.
I leave with Chad, Michael, and baby Brock.
Okay, we are going to visit what you do after we resolve the temple here.
Do the people in the fake or the old consortium uniforms have malicious intentions toward the consortium.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I wonder why. Oh, we can interrogate them.
Right. While they're
all right.
stunned, we should restrain them.
That was what
You
I was
guys-
going to do while you were all dealing with the Chads and the Brocks and the
Perfect.
whatever, since
So
I
you
didn't
work
shoot
on
anyone.
Restraining. And while you are restraining, meanwhile, Chad is just laying across Froggy, probably, because you were on the ground. So he really
Yeah.
just like laid across. She'd be like, please help me. I'm trying to be tough, but it hurts so much.
What hurts? Tell me about it.
And he like removes his hand, and you can see that he was, in fact, grazed by a laser shot. And there is what is probably maybe a 3rd-degree burn.
Ow,
maybe a 3rd-degree burn that is about 1/2 inch wide and about 3 inches long. You've gotten worse taking a pan out of the. I've gotten worse taking a pan out of the oven.
Taking a pan out of the oven.
It's gonna have to come off. The arm's gotta go. I'm so sorry.
No, you can't save it.
We can replace it maybe with a robotic one. You'll look really cool.
Dude, I could have a robot arm.
Yeah,
Is it
a
gonna
robot
hurt?
arm.
Is it gonna hurt?
Of course not. I'm a
Damn, I was hoping I would get to be strong and tough.
You will be strong and tough. You're telling me you're not going to be strong and tough right now when I take off your arm?
I'm gonna be so strong and so tough.
Then can I cut off his arm?
Yes, you absolutely can. Are you trying to do it well?
No, I just want to cut off his arm and let him bleed out.
You don't need to roll at all. you grab, I don't even know, out of your med bag.
I was thinking
hand
just
a bone saw.
Just a bone saw, but like an old school handheld one. You saw.
I wonder why we have a grim reputation.
No reason.
You start sawing through his arm. He is screaming.
Yeah, if he screams too loud, I'll give him a little kiss.
Oh, that's really nice of you.
So you start cutting, and at first he's like being tough, you know. He's like, I don't feel that. Doesn't tickle at all. It's good. I'm gonna have such a cool robot arm. As you get further and further in, obviously, that gives away to screaming and then whimpering and crying.
He'll pass out really quickly.
Yes, and then after that, he passes out from the pain. You remove the arm. You do absolutely nothing to staunch any of the bleeding. And he just expires there on the floor of the temple. Good or bad news, depending on your point of view, all of that screaming did wake the stunned captives.
I made sure they were quite tied up quite nicely as the screaming intensified.
I feel like that's probably part of, you don't have to roll for that either. Tying people up seems like it would be in your repertoire.
There's lots of very productive methods in which that is standard, yes.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Some of those are more for fun.
So the two of you are standing over 3 people who are now awake, all of which struggled with their bonds and then quickly realized that they probably weren't going anywhere and are now just kind of glaring at you and waiting.
Hello. Are one of you the destiny person, this captain?
Yes, one of the humans, a human female in the consortium uniform, she's got bright pink hair, is wearing an outfit that very clearly says Captain Destiny, in the same way that yours says Dr. Cynthia.
Were you part of the consortium?
Yes.
But a
Heard of that.
while ago.
Yeah, I gave up on those people a long time ago.
You have something against them?
I don't understand how you have anything for them.
Well, they are helping me with some of my research, but I'm not really committed to them in any real way. Why? What do you have against the consortium?
Well, I decided that it wasn't worth giving my life for some people who've decided that this galaxy should be all about peace and love and acceptance and all that kind of mamby-pamby bullshit.
And what would you rather it be about?
What we should be about. Being the best in the galaxy. Domination and control.
I want to be the best. Anyway,
I want to be the very
passion
best.
and nothing else.
Like no one ever was.
Yep. Oh, so really you just want to be in charge of everyone?
And I will be in charge because I know what I'm doing and because I understand what is best for the people of Earth and what is best for the galaxy.
And what's that?
I already told you. Domination and control to help the people of Earth, to feed the starving on Earth, to raise them above all of these ragtag species in the galaxy.
Oh, I see. So you think you're better than literally every other species.
I know we're better, don't you?
Allow me to disagree somewhat politely at this moment. I've encountered so many different species that really humans are some of the most boring of all of them.
Boring.
Yes, you're quite boring yourself. 2 legs, 2 arms, 1 head, and a very small imagination.
I'm gonna need you to
Look at
roll a
their
feelings roll for
vaginas,
me.
pretty small too.
And completely dried out.
Is it just 1 dice or?
Yeah, it's just 1 dice for
Okay.
this.
And I need to get under a 4 or over a 4?
You're rolling over.
Okay. Okay, well that's gone. Let's try again. I don't know where that went. I got a 1.
All right. So you say these things. It has absolutely no effect on her.
That's
She
fine.
just hears you, says, wow, I can't believe you would betray Earth like that. You know, people like you are part of the problem. People with this idea of radical acceptance, you are giving the resources of Earth away to the undeserving. It is because of you that Earth suffers.
Real big talk from somebody who's tied up on the ground.
Oh yeah, I guess they gesture a lot less than that. Sorry, I forgot.
It's okay. My knots are quite secure.
I think I would like to just put the gun up a notch and point it,
Ooh,
not fire it.
I like threatening.
Do it. Shoot me. It would just prove the point that you don't care about Earthlings.
If I shoot you,
Mm.
how many other people are just going to step into your place? Killing you here doesn't make a statement. So why would I do something so pointless as killing you right now?
You don't have the guts.
I'm not gonna be baited, all right? I'm not stupid.
All right. I love that. So what do you guys do? Meanwhile, the Gavin alien has been, like, the Gavin native has been quiet this entire time. The other person in consortium uniform has been sort of doing that, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ooh, can I go to the Gavin alien?
Yes.
How did you get all mixed up in this?
Uh, it's my job to defend the temple.
But these two were coming to raid the temple.
Right. I was trying to shoot them, but then those guys showed up and started shooting all of us. And
Ah,
that one dude who carried the other guy out,
mm,
kind of the best shot. That's how
yeah.
my brother died.
Oh, oh, you poor thing. I just wanted to make sure that he's not lying, though, just to get untied.
That's a good guess. Yeah. I mean, you would have to roll feelings for this.
Okay,
So
well, I
you
can
are
give it
again
a
trying to
try.
get over a 4.
Okay.
Could Queen Gala?
She's not
No,
here.
the
Not
queen's
there.
left.
I
I
got a
left.
5, though.
Hey,
Five.
no, he's not lying. He very
Okay.
clearly was just like trying to shoot anybody who was coming. And when you guys walked in, the person he happened to be shooting was at Chad Michael.
Okay. I'm going to untie him and then try to comfort him with some of my additional knowledge now of the Gavonese people.
Forgot you had that for a second.
You know what? It's comforting, I guess.
I'm not like assaulting him. I'm just giving him comfort in the way that I understood was good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, he feels very comforted. He feels very cared for. Let's
Oh,
go for
good.
that.
Yeah. Well, it is aftercare. I did
Mhm.
tie him up, and so aftercare is important.
Yeah. See? Look at you. You're gonna kill Amanda. Um, and yeah, so he is feeling very comforted.
Good.
The other two have gone silent because you're not giving them anything, so they're not giving you anything. Is there anything else you would like to do?
I think we should. Are we going to stun them again and take them away? Should we? Do we want to see what this weapon thing is?
I think, are they tied so that they cannot walk?
I can untie their legs. I have. It's kind of like a full body, but like in just strategic knots.
I feel like we can make them walk back to our ship at gunpoint, and that will be effective, and then we don't have to tire ourselves out.
It's true. I am still curious though what this seat of power was supposed to be.
Yeah. Well, once they're like subdued, they're handled. So we could ask the person
Oh
that
yes, my dear Gavonese friend who has a name, hopefully.
Oh yeah, I guess I haven't. He definitely has a name. Do I know what it is? No. Let's see. His name
His name is
is
actually Murray.
great. His name is Murray. You're right. His name is Murray.
Murray, my dear, I know that you've had a really trying day. Would you be able, though, to show us into the temple?
Uh, the the temple is only for the god.
We want to ensure that these people haven't perhaps hurt anything that the god needs in the future.
I'm gonna need one more feelings roll from you.
That's valid.
But you can use 2 on this because you have just comforted him.
I got a 4 and a 5, so that makes it a
Hey, laser feelings, which
Laser
is
feelings.
automatically a success. So he says, I cannot go there, but, and he points, but I can show you where to go.
Thank you. Oh, I get a
And if you want to
question.
ask a question, yeah.
What capability does this supposed weapon have?
So what you guys know from legends and sort of what has been told is that this weapon has the ability to target a species. It's like a biological weapon of some sort.
Okay.
It's a genocide weapon.
Correct.
Hate that.
Which
Yep.
is why it would start a war among the consortium. Because if suddenly one species that's part of the consortium is wiped out.
Gotcha. Cool.
Hey, did you know that Chad blood tastes like Budweiser?
You know what? That really checks out.
Anyway, he's dead, so.
Oh no. So we are going to go inspect the inner sanctum of the temple to ensure there isn't anything untoward.
If
I
you
think I'm gonna stay with our captives.
Okay.
Just out here.
Doctor, do you want to go with me?
Yeah, sounds great.
Doctor?
Doctor.
Doctor,
Straight up.
Murray says, is it okay with you if I take my brother back to the village?
Oh, yes. Maybe we could help you with that if you'd like. We're gonna.
No, it's I need to carry him on my own.
Okay.
It's part of the penance for failing to save him.
Oh, Murray, please understand that whatever your religion says about that, it was not your fault. And we will find justice for your brother's killer.
I will pray for his soul. I mean, like, a four-limbed guy picking up this eight-limbed body is kind of awkward.
Yeah.
He is not nearly as muscular and well-built as Chad Michael. But he does manage to sling the body of the other Gavin native over his shoulders and carry him out of the temple. It's clear that he's struggling, but it is also clear that for him, the struggle is an important part of the grieving process. Okay. So he leaves. You follow his guidance deeper into the temple. And there you do find, through several layers of temple infrastructure, all of which have already been opened before you arrived here. It seems like Destiny was probably very close to the weapon when they got found out. And what you did notice is that Murray's brother was on the steps down to this area. Like, that's where his body was.
Gotcha.
So it's clear that the brothers were defending. One of them probably got shot. They made it down. The other consortium guards and then the bros, the Falcon bros, showed up. So luckily for you, you don't actually have to get through any traps or anything in order to get to it. But what you find is a dispersal system is what I would say.
So like a
yes. And it's very clear to you with your scientific knowledge that this, if triggered, would travel not just through air, but through the vacuum of space. How? I don't know. I don't have to know science.
Magic. Science
lasers.
Magic.
Yeah. And I am going to have you roll me a lasers roll, though, to see if you can do anything identifying about the substance.
1, 2.
You get 2 for this.
Okay. And lasers is a below?
Lasers is below, so you want under a 4.
I got a 4 and a 5.
Hey, okay. Laser feelings again.
Look at this weird
ask another
4.
question,
I just want to show you. You can't even see it. It's just like a really weird shape.
So that is a success. And what you discover is that this, although this would absolutely wipe out an entire species, it is coded for a species that you are completely and utterly unfamiliar with.
So it wouldn't wipe out, it would still wipe out a species, just not any species.
Yes, correct. And you think that probably somebody who didn't know as much as you know wouldn't necessarily be able to tell that. Like they'd be able to tell the purpose, but not the intended target. And certainly somebody from the consortium who centuries ago stumbled upon this place likely would have been able to identify the purpose of this. And then maybe nobody ever came back to try and identify what species it actually was going to kill. They just decided that it was a no good, very bad thing to exist and should be locked away and guarded.
But I don't know what species or if that species is still in existence.
Correct. It is not a species that you are at all familiar with. You think if you took it away, you probably could identify it.
Is that possible?
I mean, it's possible. There's nobody else here. But
Doctor,
you also know
that the consortium would not be fond of that,
correct.
probably.
But I also don't know if you care. You have a grim reputation.
Also, I don't like the idea of just letting somebody completely eradicate a species while they haven't been studied or identified. Dr. Celia? How do you feel?
Well, I assume you shared this information with me.
Yes, I share this information with you.
Is there anything on this device? Does it more resemble a device than anything
It's
else?
like a cannony like thing it can shoot and then disperse the thing in the right place.
Is there anything about it that seems natural or like derivative of a natural substance?
The device itself, no. It is very clearly engineered.
And
likely by the god Gavin and whatever he happened to be.
And there's nothing like powering it that is natural or that is a like green substance of any kind. Like not a green stone. I joked that it was going to be the prophecy stone. I
briefly considered that.
Oh my god.
I meant that like there's no like plant matter that's powering it. Like there's nothing that would be considered a life form or biological.
Oh no, no. It's powered. You're guessing it's powered by fuel, but it's not a fuel cell that you recognize.
So yeah, I think. I mean, I'd be curious to take it apart, see how it works. You seem to think it's not dangerous.
Well, I was thinking we could remove the substance that could kill an entire species, and then if something accidentally happened to the machine that obviously the Captain Destiny did, well, that would be unfortunate, but thankfully we were able to stop her diabolical scheme. If you catch my meaning.
After she unfortunately killed all of those frat boys.
Yes, they fought valiantly and yet still were no match. And so we arrived just in time.
Just in time to stop her from getting the rest of this machine and
from activating it, of course.
Activating it.
Yes.
And yeah, I think that's a good plan.
Perfect.
Okay, so you guys take the device and come back up the stairs. You lift up your two remaining captives and frog march them. Sorry, was that offensive? You lift up the two remaining captains and march them back to your shuttle. And we're going to hold as you guys arrive at the shuttle, as we travel back in time a little bit. Chad Michael carries the unconscious body of Brock and he lays him down, and there's probably just like a single bench in the shuttle that he could fit on because
Yeah,
the
how
shuttle
big
is
is
big.
this shuttle?
The shuttle's pretty small. It would be
Okay.
just like the pilot seat, the co-pilot seat, and then some benches along the side where people would sit, and then open floor space, and maybe a couple of cupboards for storage.
Okay, cool. So after Chad Michael lays Brock down in the shuttle, I'm going to go to Chad Michael and say, "Oh, thank you so much for doing that to me, or doing that for me, rather. Um, you know, it is quite customary when somebody has done such a noble deed to the Queen that she thanks him with a hug."
Uh, and he's like, I'm kind of right now. I haven't changed the
Yes,
shirt. No, okay.
embrace me.
All right. And he does. Like he's a little bit more hesitant, but he absolutely embraces you.
And so we are locked in this hug
You're very
where
pretty.
one arm is to his back and the other is holding his head. And she says, "Oh, yes, such a good hero. Such a good, dumb hero. He's going to go
Uh,
into the crux of his neck and suck the blood out from him."
Get him.
um,
Yes.
I'm gonna make you wow. No, I don't know. Is it you tell me
Got a
actually.
feeling? Is that
Is
a
it
laser?
yeah, is this a
I mean, in okay. I was looking at this because there is like seduction in
Mhm.
laser.
Yeah, and I feel like that's where you are. Seduction. No,
Yeah,
seduction in
or in
Feeling.
feelings
feelings.
rather,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
like passionate action.
Yes, I would say that this qualifies. So go ahead and give
Cool.
me. You get a 3 die roll.
So I get a 2, a 3, and a 6.
Ooh. So first off, you got laser feelings. I don't know if you have a question.
Laser
It's okay if you don't.
feelings.
But you get a major success. So not only does he come to your embrace willingly, but you start sucking his blood, and it goes, I don't know, wonderfully. And I don't know if wonderfully for you means he's crying in pain, or if it means that he's feeling euphoria. You tell me.
I mean, whatever gets me blood and him dead.
Okay. Uh, so, and with your success, you get like an extra bonus. And that extra bonus is that Chad Michael is fucking delicious.
Oh, so
Like,
good.
you're not sure what this boy eats, but you are real happy that you are drinking him instead of Chad. Um,
That makes
his
sense.
blood does not taste like Budweiser. It is more of a fine liqueur that you happen to be very fond of. It's
Mm.
smooth and easy, and like something about his incredible, ridiculous dude bro energy is just like absolutely invigorating. You feel better than you felt in years.
Ah. And as I suck this blood from him, the gray tones that my skin previously was turn to rainbow,
Ooh.
glittery, shining rainbow. And the pieces in between that were silver are now gold, and hair sprouts from my previously bald head because I definitely said that I was bald, and it is luscious and pink.
Ooh.
Amazing.
Um, I would like to shove Michael or Chad Michael into a cupboard.
Okay, you do that.
Hooray.
He's dead. He'll fit.
And then my question,
Mhm.
what is something incriminating about Brock that would absolutely get him disgraced from the Falcon.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay,
He cheated on the marksmanship exam and should not have been cleared to be a pilot.
noted.
Damn.
That makes
With
sense.
with that knowledge, I'm going to make sure that there's absolutely not a trace of Chad Michael,
Oh, there absolutely isn't.
and I am going to wake up Brock with me straddling on top of him.
Okay.
Oh, my hero. I forgot what accent I was. Oh, my hero. Oh, you've awoken again. I was so nervous that you were gone for good.
Oh, Queen, I didn't expect you to thank me like this.
Well, and I will be completely honest with you. I wasn't certain that I was going.
Also, he's gonna be
I
like,
also
you look
forgot to add
stunning.
something that I wanted to do.
Oh, okay.
I want before I wake him up, I want to go to the console and turn the recording device on.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. You can do that. All right.
Perfect.
And he's like, oh, wow. I mean, you said you wanted to thank me personally, but I didn't know it would be like this. And he like reaches up a hand towards you to
I
touch
slap
you.
it out of the way. I have to be honest with you though, my dear Brocky boy. I did not think that it was going to end this way either. But I have to be honest with you, that whole heroic get-up, it's not really enough to get me going. You know what I mean? I appreciate a bad boy. Somebody who would do absolutely anything he could to get what he wants. So, if you want my nasty bits, why don't you tell me what you did to become a pilot?
Oh, you said I like a bad boy. And as soon as you said that, he was like, I'm bad. I'm such a bad boy. I'm the worst.
Oh, are you? Well, before we can engage in
Sorry.
cunnilingus,
Turns out being Brock is
tell
killing me.
me, tell me what a bad, bad, naughty boy you are.
Because I've done so many bad things. I I absolutely, I was so mean to Crash because I because Crash is a girl and wears dresses, and that's a stupid thing for a pilot to do.
Dresses are so dumb.
I mean, not for a queen, obviously, but for a pilot, really, really dumb. And I
Keep
really
going.
just,
Keep going.
yeah. So, I actually totally um lied and said that Chad and Chad Michael were the same person so that they could both be on the crew of the scout ship with me.
Oh, that's such a mediocrely terrible thing to do. I don't know that this is really enough to get me excited. Don't you
Oh,
have
oh,
anything
oh, wait.
better?
I cheated on my marksmanship exam back at the academy.
Oh my goodness. And so then this is when
And he describes in detail how he cheated
mhm,
because he's convinced that will get you going.
this is
Makes
enough
sense.
for her to raise her skirt
Oh
and begin penetration.
my goodness.
And then she says, and then she says, "You never thought that you would feel that, did you, darling?
He's
Well,
like, no, no, never.
just wait until you feel this." And then the her nether regions have teeth.
I've seen this movie.
And they start sucking the blood from there.
Oh my god.
I really want this to be when we get back, so I can be like,
Yes, this is when you guys walk in. This is what's
Yes,
happening when you
Oh.
walk in.
I love it.
Is the queen is perched on top of Brock, who is yeah, and he's actually I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna assume that he's actually was starting to be into it and is sort of maybe at that weird what the fuck is happening, but also yay, I get to have sex sort of space. And also we should consider that probably who would sleep with Brock. So he maybe doesn't understand that this is wrong. Doesn't it always feel like this? I mean, no one said that, but it. No one else has ever slept with a queen. I'm sleeping with a queen. This is what sleeping with a queen feels like. He is like repeatedly
It's a once
saying,
in a lifetime experience, doll.
so you guys walk in to the queen on top of Brock. Brock being like, "Yes, I'm so bad. I'm the worst guy, actually."
I'm gonna immediately get out my like data pad and start making notes. Do I have your consent for voyeurism at this time? Is that a yes? It seems like an enthusiastic yes.
Brock says, Brock looks at you, like sees you over there, and he goes, "Oh yeah, do you want in too? I can tell you how bad I am too."
No, thank you. I'm more interested in the queen and her consent.
Do you consent, queen?
For me to make notes.
Okay, so like I'm like in this weird state of possession, and I'm like starting to levitate into the air. My eyes are only pupils at this point, but I just kind of with my mouth open just go like
Okay, wonderful, thank you. Everything's anonymous anyway.
So the queen gets hers, and I guess levitates away. I want to mention too that she is now a beautiful rainbow.
This is fascinating.
Brock is laying there, surprisingly not bleeding. Like that was a very effective, like it's a very effective suction method that does not leave a gaping wound.
I would see if I could.
And he's breathing heavily, and then he's like, "I hope that was good for you," and then passes out.
Oh, good.
Long-term future goals for Brock and Brock's probably consenting body because he's pretty dumb, or to lobotomize and if I could Frankenstein him into a halfway decent person.
Oh,
I love this idea.
All right, so Brock is officially added to your ship's index. As far as the consortium is concerned, you picked him up on planet after the rest of his crew was killed.
Yes. Tragic.
And offered him a space on the Raptor.
Yeah, he unfortunately suffered a brain injury and he doesn't remember anything about who he is
or what happened in the temple.
Yeah.
But we do have that blackmail material of
that
the queen took if we ever need it.
It's true.
You're welcome. I'm so thoughtful.
You are quite wonderful, Your Majesty,
so
I must say.
Your shuttle flies back up and docks with the Raptor again. And Celia takes Brock, who's, I don't know, still riding the Afterglow, to Med Bay, where she performs an immediate necessary lobotomy. Crash, what do you do with the fugitives?
Oh, I had said that sweet one-liner, and then I had put them in the closet.
Yeah, but now you've got them back. Oh, okay. So you leave them in the closet.
In the shuttle in the closet. Yeah.
The proper authorities.
Yep. Okay. And so you are all back on the ship. You get into the pilot seat and discover that you are completely filled with fuel. When you look around, you see that the other ships are now gone. You think you probably missed a message of some sort calling off the consortium ships. You do have a message asking you to report in. You give the report that Cynthia talked about what went down.
Yes.
You receive commendation for your bravery. And it is like, as this is being received, so on the video screen, you are all gathered again in the galley, and on the video screen is that same and giving a very clearly recorded speech, that says, "We would like to congratulate the crew of the Raptor for their incredible gift to the consortium, and we want to thank you for the bravery you showed on Gavin 7, and for all that you have done for us. This is an official commendation. Your ship, the Raptor, and the crewmates, Dr. Cynthia Lingus, Dr. Celia Carew, Cassandra R. Ashford, and civilian Queen Gala de la Cassiopeia, will receive the following commendations: a Purple Heart, 10,000 credits, new assignment to system of their choice, increase in research grant money.
Oh, good. It's so hard to get that
Thank you
money.
again for everything that you do for us. And then the message ends.
Marvelous. Could we have
And
done the
as
research on the...
I was going to say, as the message ends, you hear a sound in the doorway, and Captain Darcy is leaning there, and he goes, "So what I miss?"
Nothing. Yeah.
I got a new toy.
And it's a friend. Probably useful at some point.
Frankenbrock.
I'm going to choose not to ask questions about that.
Brockenstein.
Brockenstein. Great. Glad to meet you, Brockenstein. We're going to glaze over that because this ship works better if I know nothing and you keep doing what you're doing.
This is true.
And he's just going to walk out. And
Maybe
that...
cut out his eyes because, Celia means blind.
I love it. Please do. And with that, your captain walks away again out of the galley, and you fly off to rendezvous with a consortium prison transport to turn over your fascists.
Good.
And continue on to deliver the parcel that you were originally sent to deliver. Cynthia is able to work on her research, and what she discovers researching this device is that it was designed for the species of the god Gavin, all of which were exterminated. And strangely disappeared, and none exist anymore. So the weapon itself was not particularly dangerous, but releasing the chemical would probably give you bronchitis.
That's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I also will be asking the Queen a lot of questions about your species' reproductive habits.
Yes. The Queen...
Do you want to go for a test spin?
As long as I come out the other side, not like Brock, yes.
I mean, to be fair...
Nor like Chad Michael, either.
To be fair, before before Celia took Brock, he probably would have been fine.
It's true, and I don't have the bits that Brock has, so
He's still gonna be fine.
he's actually even better.
Better.
I think he's actually
Yes.
new and improved. Brockenstein is much better.
Yeah, Brockenstein, although blind and lacking a large amount of his memory, is infinitely more pleasant to be around.
I'm thinking like an Evan Peters in season 3 of American Horror Story situation.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Solid.
Yep, that's the vibe. He moseys around. He's helpful when you need help. He's willing to lift things and carry things and move things. He gets along pretty well without his sight, surprisingly.
I'm gonna build him robot eyes eventually. Just I think he needs
One
to
step at a
like
time.
learn to move around the world with limited sight.
He
first.
actually, because he can no longer see, learns to actually listen to people when they talk, and is greatly improved as a person. Meanwhile, Crash, having solved the mystery of the temple, is able to share that with other such mystery solvers, and you continue to have your grim reputation, but your ship also becomes one called on if somebody needs something unknown figured out. You drop the queen off eventually if she decides to leave your ship.
What are you talking about? You fed me twice, and you fed me
She's never leaving.
good. Oh, yes, I said that I had somewhere to be. More like I had somewhere to eat.
Yes.
So I
Makes
don't know
sense.
that I have anywhere to go anymore.
Then the queen remains with you, and Celia keeps you well fed. Although she admittedly does offer you a wide variety of options, and some of them taste terrible. But the information that you provide is very interesting to Cynthia.
Yes. My readers are very intrigued by your particularities.
Yeah, there's a...
Granted, they don't know it's you, but there is a majestic queen in the story.
Yeah.
And the Raptor continues to be nimble and wear its fashionable cloaking device for many years to come.
As it should.
Indeed.
The end.